In a world where bloodthirsty mercenaries and crazed bandits terrorized Pandora, one man, one shot. This summer, a build of epic proportions will change everything. Get ready for murder, for mayhem. He's not here to bring peace. He's here for revenge. Dirty Dan 3. Coming to IMAX theaters near you. Yo, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm bringing you all Dirty Dan 3.0. This is the third version of this build because we always got some new toys to play with and some one-shotting to get done. So before we get into the build, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Borderlands 3 Mayhem 4 Zane builds. And don't forget to join the Zane Nation Discord channel. Link will be in a pinned comment down below. And if you're already a subscriber of mine, if you guys want to turn on the bell to receive notifications, it helps out my channel and my analytics a whole lot. One last thing before we get into it, I want you guys to keep in mind that all of this footage is from true takedown mode, so all of the damage is versus the biggest, tankiest enemies in the game. So if you're not playing on true takedown mode, you're going to get just way better results. So with that in mind, now let's really get into the build. So we're using some of my favorite weapons and shields in the newest version of this build. And first, I want to talk about the shield. So the shield we're using is called the One-Shotter Shield. It's a purple shield with amp rolled on it 3 times. Basically what this shield does and why it's better than the legendary versions is it will amp our multi-pellet weapons correctly. And in this build with playing Dirty, pretty much all of our shots are multi-pellet shots. The 0.M and the rerouter will only amp 1 pellet from your shot. They don't amp multi-pellet shots correctly. So if you don't have a one-shotter shield, then honestly I just suggest wearing a transformer or some sort of other defensive option. Now with the shield out of the way, probably my new favorite shield in the game, by the way, let's talk about what awesome weapons we're using. So the first and probably my favorite pistol in the game is the Queen's Call. This is just such a great gun to hold and shoot. It's pretty amazing landing crits with this thing because you'll deal tons and tons of damage. It also has lifesteal built into it, which doesn't matter so much because we're playing Zane and we have Salvation. But with Sentinel Cryo and playing Dirty, we create several bonus ricochets that all home back in on the enemy. This is a boss killer. This is actually pretty decent for mobbing because it'll take out targets very, very quickly. There's almost nothing that this gun can't do. Next, we're going to be moving on to the Brainstormer. This was a gun I never previously used to play in my Dirty Dan series of builds, but this is actually great because of the one-shotter shield. This gun is amazing all alone, but like I said, with that one-shotter shield, those amped shots do like insanely strong amounts of damage and the chains and everything. And this is going to amp a lot of your shots, even though it's a fast-firing weapon, because we have fast recharge delay and rates on the one-shotter shield, and we're using Zane's Ready for Action so that it will charge up more and more all the time. Now, this gun will crush mobs. It'll keep your action skills active. Honestly, if you want to, you could spam this and get through most of the takedown, but I like using some of the other weapons. This is kind of just a great failsafe, or if you just want to get through a part faster. So next, we've got 2 more Jacobs weapons that are 2 amazing additions to the build, and I'm super glad we get to play these weapons. Now, the first one is the brand new sniper from the Valentine's event, and the other one is a super underrated but powerful Jacobs assault rifle. So first, let's talk about the Wedding Invitation. This sniper has been making waves the moment it got released. Everybody loves this thing. It's literally so strong. It's basically an auto include in this build. You can run around and one-shot pretty much every mob in the takedown. This weapon shoots as fire and ricochets as cryo. The best anointment for this is going to be Sentinel Cryo, and then the next best will be Barrier Crit. And finally, onto the last weapon in our slot. This is the Lead Sprinkler. This Jacobs assault rifle is actually so powerful. It's pretty underrated. A couple people have told me to try this, and I saw some videos of it, so now I am. It'll basically shred through almost any enemy in the game. Now, there's kind of a trick and sort of an acquired taste when it comes to this gun. You have to figure out which enemies and what areas this does the most damage in. It can be great for mobbing because of the large spread of the explosives. And keep in mind, I guarantee you're going to put yourself into fight for your life once or twice with this gun. I still do it, but it's super fun to play with, and it does a lot of damage. And then on top of that, it's secretly great for bossing. All of those bonus explosions hit like the whole entire area of the boss because normally bosses are bigger enemies. So yeah, this is really good at killing the Krakens and the Thors, and this is actually pretty cool against Wotan. I'm going to show you guys a cool trick we can do to get through Wotan's double barrier phase without ever going inside. Now you can actually do this trick with a couple other weapons. I showed this off with the Tiggs Boom the other day, and I've done this with the Nukem. The Lead Sprinkler is one of those weapons too. You basically just shoot it at the top of Wotan's barrier and you never have to go inside. Now onto our class mod and artifact. When it comes to our class mod, I like keeping up with the theme of the last build, and boosting our fire rate super high, and then also making sure playing dirty is active all the time. So our class mod has points in Violent Violence and playing dirty, and then we actually have some decent passives. With shield regen, delay rate is going to get our one-shotter active often. The bonus magazine size I love. But realistically what this means is any See Undead you have is going to be great for this build. Just make sure to get a couple points in playing dirty, and yeah. Onto the artifact, we are running an Icebreaker. We have super precise weapons like the Queen's Call. We want to be able to hit our shots, so Brain Freeze gets the job done for us, and then we get some bonus damage in from the Icebreaker. Now keep in mind you can toss on a Snowdrift for bossing sections. If you slide and shoot the Lead Sprinkler, it does so much damage. It's actually, like, honestly a really cool gun. I'm probably going to be playing with it more. So keep that stuff in mind. Pretty much, you know, Zane's two favorite artifacts, Snowdrift and Icebreaker. Now, one other thing I want to mention about your class mod and artifact, I highly suggest looking out for splash and AoE bonuses. All of our Jacobs weapons have secondary explosion effects, and it will basically be a multiplicative damage boost to those weapons. My artifact has AoE rolled on it, as you guys probably saw a second ago, and that damage is going to be helping us out a lot. Finally, let's go over the skill trees real quick. It is a pretty standard See Undead build. Now, in our last Dirty Dan build, we were using the Rowan's Call instead of the Lead Sprinkler, and you can still use the Rowan's Call in this build. But when we were using the Rowan's Call, we dipped heavily into Violent Violence, but this time we really want 5 out of 5 in Cool Hand. We're pretty much reloading like a lot in this build, especially since I showed you guys my class mod already has some extra points into Violent Violence. Our guns are shooting very fast. The extra 3 skill points from the level cap increase was really great because we're able to get all the kill skills we want, and then we also stuck 3 points into Borrowed Time. And besides that, it's a pretty standard tree. Just copy these skill trees and you're going to have a good time. Keep in mind, we are using Ready for Action instead of Adrenaline. Not only does this help our amp shield, but I also did some tests in the past. Adrenaline isn't actually good when we have the Guardian rank skill topped off. So if you don't have topped off, maybe you want to go for Adrenaline instead. But Ready for Action is really good and just synergizes with our shield anyway. Now, this build is so simple to play. Just always hit headshots and you're going to do great. If you're ever in a pinch, you ever need to refill your action skills, pull out your Brainstormer, Brainstormer with Sentinel Cryo is just such a powerful combination. You strip shields, you strip armor, and then you do great against health bars. And it's insanely powerful with the one-shotter shield. It'll melt through enemies like butter. And enjoy just being a badass hitman who works for Wainwright and Hammerlock Jacobs, because we love Jacobs weapons in this build. And most of these weapons will either one-shot or get through enemies so quickly. As always, if you guys have any questions about the build, leave them down in the comments down below, and I'll be answering all of them as soon as I can. If you like the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. And if you guys could turn on post notifications, it really helps out my channel analytics and I would appreciate it. But that's going to be it for this one. I got to do a shout out and thank you once again to my channel members. All of you guys became members while I was streaming a while back, and I can't wait to get a PC and start again. But that's pretty much going to be it from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.